Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. Watch the whole video today. In this video, I want to talk about the price of Bitcoin and where I expect the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum to be going in to the end of the year. So there's about 6 months left until we get to the end of 2020. Bitcoin's price is moving. Let's talk about it. So Bitcoin pumped to $94,000 last night, and we're already starting to see it taper off. It's my belief that this is not the start of higher highs. This is simply a short squeeze. So it's one last pump before we move lower, but then rally higher into the end of the year. So I think Bitcoin's price is going to drop lower. Many people think it's going to drop a lot lower, but overall, I expect Bitcoin's price to be higher going into the end of the year. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Bitcoin's price to dip just below $8,000. I believe that Bitcoin needs to fall just a little bit lower, which will fool some people, but overall it's going to set up this launching pad that eventually will lead to a price rally at the end of the year where Bitcoin can retest $14,000 and retest all-time highs. So, to be clear, what I'm saying is actually a conservative prediction. A lot of people think that Bitcoin will easily be above $20,000 at the end of the year. I'm not so sure. I do think it's very likely that we'll be close to breaking all-time highs near the end of the year and then breaking above all-time highs in 2021, which will lead to 9 months of insane bullish upside. But before that, I do think that Bitcoin needs to dip lower. Now keep in mind, Bitcoin, a lot of people disagree, but I believe Bitcoin is in a bull market. We are in a bull market, and in a bull market, you will often see people predicting that Bitcoin's price needs to drop lower, but inevitably the price will break higher. It's very common. All those Bitcoin EU folks waiting to buy Bitcoin at $2,000 will be buying Bitcoin at $20,000. I believe this. And ETH at 5K? I wouldn't be shocked. But all that being said, as long as Bitcoin remains below $10,000, for me personally, I'm short-term bearish, waiting for a lower low. Now, if Bitcoin breaks above $10,000, I'd flip bullish immediately because major psychological resistance would be broken if Bitcoin breaks above and can sustain a price above $10,000. Now, more than that, I think it's very likely that where we actually are, we're in the disbelief stage. People are in disbelief that Bitcoin has maintained the price above $9,000 for this long. So despite all the bearish sentiment, there are so many fundamental reasons to think that Bitcoin could be a lot higher from where it is right now. Like I said, we're in the disbelief stage. Even though I do think Bitcoin needs to drop a little bit, I think that overall we're going to break to the upside. Not only because it's been 2.5 years since the previous all-time high, not only because we had this unnatural COVID liquidity crisis, which caused unusual downside pressure, not only because of everything we talk about on this channel, the reason you like and subscribe, but beyond that, there are key metrics that show institutional demand for Bitcoin is surging rapidly. This is a new article. I'm just going to give you the key takeaways. I know your time is valuable. Grayscale records 1.4 billion in inflows in the first half of 2020 alone. The first 6 months of 2020, Grayscale records 1.4 billion in inflows. And if you've been subscribed to our channel for any length of time, you're aware that we share stuff like Grayscale, like Square, all these institutions who are buying it up or seeing success. We share this information with you. This is something the general public has no idea on. And just to finally cap off this article, because I want to move on, I want to talk about my thoughts on the Ethereum price at the end of the year. I want to talk with you about those of you who will be joining our live stream tonight. I'm going to tell you what you need to know, what you can look out for and be excited about. Before we get to that, let's just go over the final key metric. And again, I think this is a big deal. Banks are starting to operate custodial services. For instance, we'll just name a few. Since January 2020, major banks across Asia, Europe, and the US have started to prepare crypto custodial services, indicating that they see a certain level of demand for Bitcoin clients. In January, Switzerland's third largest bank, Julius Baer, partnered with SEBA to launch digital asset services. 2 months later, South Korea's largest bank, Kook Min, filed a trademark application for crypto custody solution. Local analysts said that the bank is likely far into production development at this point. None of these banks have to have crypto custody solutions. They're all opting in for crypto custody in 2019 and 2020 because there is a certain level of demand. That demand is only going to increase. And the final point that this article had is financial institutions are supporting crypto infrastructure like never before, and they name MasterCard, Visa, Square, PayPal, all the stuff that you know about. If you're a subscriber, this is, it might get boring to you how everybody points this out, not just me. The building, the infrastructure is like nothing we've ever seen before. And that's why I say it might be likely that we're in a disbelief stage right now, where people don't realize that we're in a bull market and people don't realize the implications of all this stuff. People comment all the time, hey, all this good news, why isn't the price going any higher? And that takes time, Holding Bitcoin, holding cryptocurrency, patience is what it takes. That, money flows from weak hands to the strong hands if you don't have patience. And by the way, guys, if you're getting value in this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video with a friend, or actually share our live stream link tonight with a friend. This will be a good live stream. Let me talk about this. Let me talk about Ethereum. Actually, let me talk about Ethereum first. So, Bob Lucas responding, somebody asked him, and then 5K Ethereum at the end of the year. He said, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked either. And that would be very bullish. All of these alts pumping in the past few weeks, in my opinion, very bullish. People's urge to speculate is, a bullish thing, because that's why we're all here. So I wouldn't be surprised. 5K, that's a lot. Ethereum, I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum was above $500. Now, like I've told you before, each time you go a little bit lower on this cryptocurrency market cap, it's a little bit more risk. Ethereum a little bit riskier than Ethereum. Top 10, a little bit less risky than stuff below it. But maybe I'm in disbelief about the altcoin market. Maybe we are near the bottom. It's something I'm constantly asking myself, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And the reality is we won't know until after the fact. Okay, let's talk about tonight's live stream. To answer some questions, no, this is not a page review. Binance CZ not giving us anything, unfortunately. The guy is a billionaire. He was on Forbes' list of most successful people in cryptocurrency. Binance Exchange, one of the biggest, and yet we're getting nothing, unfortunately. No, we just do it because part of our goal is to bring on notable people that not only we're interested in talking to, but also people with different opinions than us, and also people who are notable people in the space. And CZ is one of those notable people. Now, just so you know, we probably won't get a chance to mention this on tonight's stream. We did have to send in a list of questions to CZ so he can be prepared for the interview. That's something I'd ask for too. I'd want to know the questions I'm being asked, because literally you can ask him about anything. But beyond that, he does know that it's a live stream and we will be taking audience questions. So we're going to try and wedge in as many audience questions in this interview tonight as possible. And, honestly, I'm going to prioritize any good questions, but also super chats will be prioritized too. And, realistically, we probably will only mostly be able to get to super chats and the questions that have already been filtered through us. But that being said, if there's a really good question and it comes from the audience, I'm going to ask him. If it's too much, if it's something, even if somebody super chatted, but it's something, I don't know, it's something too, shilly or something, I'm not going to ask CZ that, but you'll be able to tell. I don't want to waste CZ's time. Most importantly, we're looking to get some answers. We are looking to get the truth, and all the questions that we sent him are things we actually want to know. I don't care about the usual questions that CEOs of exchanges get asked. We want to ask him questions that we're interested in, and this is going to be a really good live stream. So 7:30 tonight, California time. Make sure you're tuned in. All right, guys, if you got value in this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, comment below. Tune in for the live stream tonight. Share this live stream link on your social media. It's going to be a big deal. People are tuning into it. I want to ask him when he's going to implement SegWit. Tons of questions to ask this guy. See ya tonight. See you tomorrow.